Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Slightly different surroundings today. I've taken a little trip to the north of Bali. I'll show you on the screen right now. Staying at my mate's villa. Super peaceful, super relaxing. Only issue is there's no internet connection. But sometimes in life, it's pretty good to disconnect. So that's what I've been doing ever so slightly until we get back on the train here on GBFC, making a match preview for Chelsea versus Barnsley. A nice little Capital One Cup third round tie, with the prospect of a trip to Leyton Orient if we win, because Leyton Orient have got Spurs, so Brisbane Road is on the cards for the fourth round if we can beat championship opposition Barnsley. I apologise for the wind. If it's a little bit breezy around here, then I'm sorry, but it is what it is. If you're not yet subscribed to GBFC, I'd love to ask you to do so. It's free. You can turn on bell notifications as well so that you never miss a video. We're about to hit 160,000, which is a nice juicy number, so make sure you're subscribed. And I want to first of all talk about something I did make a video on yesterday, but for some stupid reason the blooming sound didn't record, which isn't ideal. I was basically saying and addressing the backlash that Frank Lampard has received from a minority. I must say, it's not like the masses are saying Frank Lampard out or this and that and the other. Frank Lampard has come in for some stick after the defeat to Liverpool. I just want to remind people that last season Chelsea finished fourth. We got to an FA Cup final, we were beaten by the eventual winners of the UEFA Champions League, and we also had a transfer ban after losing our best player for the past 5 years. Chelsea overachieved, in my opinion, last season, and in the opinions of many. This year, we've gone out and addressed the positions where we needed to strengthen and actually improve. So far, we've not been able to see more than half of those players because of injuries, which again, is something we can't quite control. We've also improved defensively over the course of the first 2 matches of the season, despite conceding twice against Liverpool, and the way that we lost that game was due to an individual error from a goalkeeper who I highly doubt is going to be in the first team for much longer. We missed the penalty, and we also played against the best team in the country with 10 men for more than half the game. So if you want to forget last season, going to Arsenal and winning, going to Spurs and winning, beating United in the FA Cup, beating Liverpool in the FA Cup, beating Manchester City in the Premier League, if you do want to forget all of those things, then fine. As I always say, optimism's a much better outlook on life, whether it's Chelsea, business, relationships, whatever it may be. If you want to take the negative spin and say Frank Lampard out just because we were beaten by the champions, you go ahead, but we're not going to jump on any of those bandwagons here on GBFC. There are much more important things to be talking about, such as how we beat Barnsley tonight. You guys know, with every match preview here on GBFC, I always like to try and pick the best team that I think we could see on the field in order to get the 3 points and win the game. Of course, it's Carabao Cup or Capital One Cup, I forget what the name is, the sponsor changes every flipping week. It's one of those where it's knockout football. If it goes to extra time, there's no extra time, it goes to penalties. Hopefully Chelsea don't need that. Hopefully we can field a side today that is strong enough to go ahead and win the game in 90 minutes. And hopefully we can see some players that are still getting towards fitness. We can see more of the new signings get minutes. We can maybe see a couple of debuts. And as a result of that, everyone gets fitter, and then we go into the game at the weekend looking to bounce back from that defeat to Liverpool. So let's start by building the team. We're going to start in goal. We already know Edouard Mendy has pretty much signed for Chelsea now. It's not been like officially announced at the time of me recording this by the club, which is what we're all always waiting for. But Edouard Mendy is Chelsea's goalkeeper. We've also been confirmed by Frank Lampard himself that Willy Caballero was always destined to start this game, whether or not Kepa made that dreadful error at the weekend or not. So Willy Caballero, we already know that he's going to be the goalkeeper. He's about to become the third choice keeper, so it'll be nice to see him get the minutes. We move into the next position, and I've completely forgotten who it is I put in my team. Let me check my telephone. This wind is getting a bit annoying. We start off with the left back, and I believe we're going to get a debut today for Ben Chilwell. It's a game where he can get minutes, start to get match fit again after not playing football for a couple of months. Going into that game at the weekend, I think we've got West Brom this weekend, but Ben Chilwell, I think he's going to start. Frank Lampard has confirmed that he is finally fit, and I'm very excited to see Chilwell in a blue shirt. We've already seen on social media that Chilwell's integrating very nicely, very well with the rest of his Chelsea teammates, and I think we will see him get starting minutes today. We've seen and heard that Frank Lampard does want to start with a strong team in order to get people back to the kind of level of fitness that we want to be at for the rest of the season. Even though that we did win that first game at Brighton, I've seen that players are looking a little bit lethargic. There wasn't a proper pre-season. Everything's kind of a bit muddled up in the footballing world right now. So Ben Chilwell's going to start for me. And in the left centre-back position, this is where it gets very exciting. I thought Fikayo Tomori did very well when he came on against Liverpool. and I think he'll start this game. You get the Little England link up there between himself and Chilwell, and next to Tomori, it's another debut for the man who turned 36 years old yesterday. As I've already told you here on GBFC, the signing of Thiago Silva is probably one that I think is going to have the biggest impact this season, with his leadership abilities, with his experience, his ability to elevate the defenders around him. I think we're going to see a debut for Thiago Silva. I also think he's going to start. Obviously, the substitutes that we could see, he could come off the bench, but if he's fit, for me, he starts this game. He's against bloody Barnsley, for goodness sake. I remember they did beat us many years ago in the FA Cup at Oakwell, which wasn't one of my happiest days as a Chelsea fan, but that's in the past. I think this is a very good game for Thiago Silva to come in. And we move into the right back. It's a first start for the season for Cesar Azpilicueta, Chelsea's captain, playing alongside another player in defence who, of course, has those captain capabilities, those captain mentality. Azpilicueta and Thiago Silva. Obviously, it is a cup tie. There are shocks in these competitions, but this side that I've built today, I definitely feel is strong enough for Chelsea. It focuses on players regaining fitness, and again, it gets a chance for Chelsea to see a formation that I think will be preferable for Frank Lampard to use once everybody is fully fit. Now we move into a midfield pivot, and I've decided to go with something a bit different for Mason Mount today. I've put him alongside Mateo Kovacic. Again, Kovacic played his first game against Liverpool. It's another opportunity for him to get minutes under his belt. Mason Mount, we've seen him play on the left. You guys have asked me to talk about it. We know it's not his preferred position, and we've got to try and figure out ways, if Chelsea and Frank Lampard want to use Mason Mount, who was a very effective player for us last season, despite some people disliking the geezer. Mason Mount, I think, could be used in a little bit of a deeper role. We can still see him pressing forward. We can see the industry and the speed of some of the more attacking players in this 4-2-3-1 coming back to help Chelsea in defence. We know that Mason Mount isn't a defensive midfielder. He is a midfielder who likes to go forward. But in this kind of game against Barnsley, I think we can use Kovacic in a deeper role to make those tackles, to break up the play when Barnsley are trying to come forward. We can also see Azpilicueta and Ben Chilwell progress forward, and it might be an opportunity for Frank Lampard to test out Mason Mount in a slightly deeper position to see if he can still be effective in this Chelsea team. Moving forward into the right wing position, and this is a big opportunity today to see Callum Hudson-Odoi. The man has come under a lot of criticism from Chelsea fans, and Frank Lampard has come out and said that he needs to be seeing Callum Hudson-Odoi working harder in training. When he's given minutes on the pitch, he needs to come in and make a difference, otherwise he's not going to get starts in a Chelsea shirt. Some people were frustrated that Mason Mount started on the wing when Callum could have started on the wing against Liverpool. I trust in what Frank's saying. Callum Hudson-Odoi is obviously a very young player, he's on big wages, and sometimes with these young players, ego can get in the way of hard work. That is something that I think we're probably seeing, or Chelsea are seeing on the training ground from Callum. But this kind of game against Barnsley, it's a perfect opportunity, and I think he will be one of the guaranteed starters in this Chelsea team. Moving into the central attacking midfield position, playing in a number 10 role, in his preferred position, it's minutes again for Mr. Kai Havertz. Chelsea obviously want to go as far as possible in this competition. We've got to remember that we do have a league game at the weekend, and Havertz has already started the first 2 games. Fitness, confidence. Havertz hasn't scored in a couple of games. People have been questioning his performance. He's still a young player, and I think this is a perfect opportunity for him to maybe get his first goal, maybe get his first assist, and obviously playing in a favourable position, such as that number 10 role, is going to be absolutely massive for Kai Havertz, and I think he could have a big impact in this game, show off his skills, show off his speed, and that ability to drift into the box at the last minute to try and ghost in with a goal. Left-hand side, obviously injuries, keeping Hakim Ziyech out the team. We've already seen that Mason Mount doesn't really like playing on that wing. Christian Pulisic is injured as well. So Timo Werner starts on the left-hand side for me in this Chelsea 4-2-3-1 lineup today. I've been very impressed with what we've seen so far from Timo. I think he's looked very sharp. He's got that ability to take players on, the runs that he makes over the top. Playing on the left-hand side, I think we could see him cutting inside as well, linking up with the striker, and I've given the striker's position to Tammy Abraham today. Could have been either him or Olivier Giroud. I think maybe Giroud would fit this lineup a little bit better, but I think in order to try and build Tammy's confidence, obviously we've seen that he's no longer the first choice striker if Chelsea are playing with one striker. It's an opportunity for Tammy Abraham to stake his claim for a position in the Premier League starting 11. This weekend we could see the return of both Hakim Ziyech and Christian Pulisic, so we'll probably see Timo Werner start up front with those 2 guys operating the wings. It's a big game for Tammy. If he can get himself on the score sheet with 1 or 2 goals, he will definitely be staking a claim and keeping himself in the head of Frank Lampard and the coaching staff in order for picking those Premier League minutes come the weekend. So I've also stuck a few players on the bench. You never really know with these matches, but considering Frank Lampard came out and said that he will be using this game for first team players to keep getting minutes under their belt, I think we're going to see a very strong Chelsea lineup. It's an opportunity to bounce back, get a win under our belts at Stamford Bridge, and I think no matter what team we field in this one, Chelsea have got to be expected to win. We don't want to start getting into patterns of bad form. We don't want to be losing this kind of game early in the season. We want to bounce straight back from that Liverpool game and hopefully get a win with a couple of goals, playing some nice fluid attacking football, see a couple of debuts in there as well, some minutes for Azpilicueta starting, Mr. Willy Caballero gets a bit of a swan song in goal. This is the team that I think we're going to go with. Let me know the team that you would pick in the comments down below. The game kicks off tonight at 7:45, which is bloody early in the morning here in Bali. It's 2:45. 6 Things We Learn will be out either straight after the game or tomorrow morning when you guys wake up. So stay tuned for that one. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy today's video, hit the like button on it. Subscribe to GBFC if you're new. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Links down below. We're not after 3 points. We're after a knockout tonight. Come on, you Blues. See you all later. Bye-bye.